Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about why Black women will never have white womanhood. And I know that a lot of y'all try to get it. This is where all the cooning, this is where all the butter biscuit eating, this is where all the divesting, this is where all the crazy talk about Black men come from. This is all of the butt kissing that you do for Zaddy and his system and all of that type of stuff. This is where all of this comes from, because you believe that at some point you're going to be an honorary member of white womanhood, and you will never be. So I've got a video that I want to share with you guys that pretty much kind of explains it. And then we're going to come back and we're going to really cook it. So here we go. Let me share, and here we are.
Because there's no such thing as white. White is whatever they want it to be in the moment.
That person is 100% correct. He gets it. And I'm surprised by how few Americans understand what whiteness is in America. It's not really about the color of your skin. It's about being accepted into mainstream American society. So you can get those great jobs at law firms. You can get those great jobs at Fortune 500 companies. You can actually buy a house in a certain neighborhood. That's what whiteness is about. And for me and many others, despite the color of my skin, I'm provisionally white. I'm accepted in the white society unless I'm not, because my Jewishness becomes more important than my quote unquote whiteness. And that was true for my grandparents as well, who were very dark skinned. We're part Mizrahi. White is whatever they want it to be in the moment.
Because there's no such.
Okay. So let me stop sharing and come back to you guys. Whiteness is whatever Zaddy say whiteness is. At the moment, it is whatever they define it to be. It is both the skin color and the status, because nobody with melanin has ever had the pathway to whiteness be open to them in society, right? So it goes hand in hand, but whiteness and blackness is the skin color, but it is more so the social status in this country. Okay, it's where you're defined to be biologically, but also culturally and environmentally. It's your station. Okay, so when we say that it was created, black and white was created as a class, or rather whiteness was created as a class that strictly and specifically excluded blacks, almost strictly based on your skin color. But we know that there are other factors, and we're going to get into them. Okay, because why would they make two classes of people that you could visually identify as being different and ranked differently and regarded differently in this country? This is why they made it colors, because first of all, it's clear cut, white and black. When things are black and white, that means that there is no ambiguity to them. There's no gray area, right? It's either white or it's black, right? So it's a visual thing, which is why skin color does play into it. You're too dark, you can't actually come into whiteness, because see, white people find color in other Europeans. So like a white Irishman or somebody from Britain would think that an Italian was too dark. You know what I'm saying? Because of the olive color skin, it's not exactly fair. There is a bit of melanin in there, okay? Because of the region that they come from of the world. So therefore, it's a little bit, we get to look at you sideways because you got a little bit of melanin and we see it. You know what I mean? You're not like bright pink or whatever. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what it is. So it's a visual marker, which is why they say black and white. I could never be white, ever. This is why no matter where you go culturally and environmentally in this country, you can't escape being black biologically. You understand? And once they got that label attached like that, which nobody's gonna remove, you'll never be white. And because you can't be white biologically, you can't be white culturally, and you can't be white environmentally. You understand? Because the culture and the environment is where the status comes in at of being white, the privilege of being white. That's where that comes into play. And then there's the biology of being white. Okay? So we have to understand these differences, right? What comes with the status of being white? We know access to the privileges within the country, which is what that man was talking about. Getting those good jobs, getting that good education. That's all the institution. Being ingratiated into the institution, not as an other, but as one of me. You understand what I mean? There's a difference. Because a black person can go to Harvard as well, but they still not, even though they're attending the institution, they're not regarded the same. Because see, institutionally, environmentally, he achieved the same thing that white people achieve, but biologically, never be white. Okay? He can even be culturally white. There are a lot of black people who were raised by white people. Okay? Or raised around white people. So culturally, they're white. Culturally, they're white. Environmentally, no. Biologically, never. See what I mean? See, even if you can achieve whiteness culturally, you won't achieve it biologically, and you won't achieve it environmentally. Colin Kaepernick was raised by a white couple. He's culturally white. He was raised in the culture of their home. He's culturally white. Environmentally, he's not white. And biologically, he's not white. Which is why they treated him the way that they did when he took a knee. They're like, what you doing? You was raised culturally white. You were supposed to pretend that you could be biologically white and environmentally white. This is why passing was a thing with black people before, during like Jim Crow and all of that type of stuff. When you were biologically light enough to pass, then you could get what was passing. Being able to biologically pass the test of whiteness, to be allowed to be white culturally and be allowed to be white environmentally. Black women seek this status through seeking favor with Zaddy. And the way that she's seeking favor with Zaddy is siding with him against black men, pro-system, pro-the system, pro-Zaddy system, which his system is automatically and intrinsically and inherently anti-black man. You understand now what I'm talking about? So this is where I say all that butter biscuit eating and cooning and all that kind of stuff. That's where that's coming from. To curry favor with Zaddy, okay? Going against black men. And as long as she does Zaddy's bidding, he will grant her special favor, honorary white womanhood. Because Black women just don't want whiteness. She want white womanhood. See, the feminine whiteness is also a different layer. She gets different considerations as a white woman, not just as a white blank. She's got to be a white woman. It's simply not possible. And I've explained why. Not only is it biologically impossible for you to do unless you pass, right? Which is why colorism is such a big thing among Black women. They project and try to say that it's Black men that have all the colorism issues. No, it's you. Y'all perpetuate all that colorism and who light and who dark and this, that, and the third. Y'all fight about that all the time because proximity to whiteness is something that you're concerned about because you understand that the closer you get to biologically appearing to be white, the closer you might actually get to being culturally and environmentally white also. Not only is it unacceptable aesthetically, biologically, okay, but you will not be granted cultural or environmental or institutional whiteness going to all them schools and getting into all of these various institutions, kissing up to Zaddy, not gonna work. And the reason why it's not going to work is because inviting you into whiteness, even as an honorary member, upsets the balance and defeats the purpose and the effect of colonization. Because if you will be an honorary member of white society and they accept you despite biologically not being able to fit the bill, but culturally and environmentally they welcome the red carpet, guess who got to come behind you? Black men. Because it won't be no way to keep them out of whiteness. Once the door is open, the door is open. If you come in, Black men are coming in because skin color is no longer an issue. And Black men are actually well accomplished. Many Black men are well educated. Many Black men understand the institutions. They understand it just fine. So they would have to be ingratiated into whiteness. See, that destroys the whole colonization. Yeah, we still colonizing y'all. Y'all are still slaves. And if he let, the other reason is that if he let Black women into the doorway of whiteness, he can't use you in the same way and in the same manner if he suddenly has to consider you a part of him. You got to always be a other because that's your only use. That's the only way you are a tool. Because if you ever get ingratiated into whiteness, not only Black men have to come behind you because it won't be a reason to not do that, but Black men, that's a complete reject. You're white now. And so if Black men see you that way, Zaddy can't use you as the weapon against him that he been using you as. So all that sucking up not gonna do nothing. And you didn't know that because you didn't understand biology, culture, and environment. Zaddy do. That's why he got you playing the role you play. It's a role. You fulfilling a purpose. The purpose is almost over and done with. It's starting not to make a difference now in the coming decades. So you're going to be useless anyway. So he going to break you like he break all his toys. You're a colonization tool, beloved. And that's what you've been. And that's the only reason why he had you hanging around. That's the only reason why he give you the crumbs off the table that he give you the welfare. He give you the, the educational little opportunities. He'll give you a little job here and there. He'll give you a leg up in mobility in the society here and there. He'll give you a few grants. He'll give you a little money. He'll take care of your little grim lords and crumb snatchers. He'll do that because that keep you hooked. See, if you wasn't getting nothing, you wouldn't deal with him. He know you. He know the demon he created. He know he got to feed you so you'll work. He know your God is in your belly, so he got to feed you so you'll work. He know that. Issue is you also know it. You just don't want nobody to tell that secret. But anyway, this is why you're not going to be white. Before we sign off, I want to bring everybody's attention to the petition we have against Black Lives Matter. We have been doing this petition for the majority of the year, and we've crossed the 10,000 signature milestone. We're headed for the 15,000 signature milestone. Our goal is 100,000 signatures so that we can implement a 6-point plan to support in a practical, concrete way all the Black communities across the United States. Black Lives Matter, as we know, the Global Networking Foundation grifted more than $100 million in donated funds away from the Black community and even away from its grassroots chapters as well. Lawsuits have been filed. So we understand that Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation has completely, been a scam and a fraud and defrauded the Black community. We are looking to implement a 6-point initiative that is going to redress that harm, okay? And one of the very first steps of that, and the step that we need everyone's support on, is the signing of the petition. If you want to be a part of this initiative of supporting the Black community and holding Black Lives Matter as an organization accountable for that theft, please go into the description box, click the link to the petition, sign it, share it, contribute to it. Also, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.